What's going on, guys? Tristan24 here. Welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm reacting to my 2021 championship table predictions. Yes, that's a mouthful, but I've said it. Let's go. But today we're going to be reacting to my table predictions that I've just said for the season just gone. Of course, it was heartache for my team Swansea in the playoffs. I'm over that. Well done, Brentford. They're up with Norwich and Watford. But today we'll see who I predicted right and wrong. I made these predictions at the start of the season. If you don't believe me, then the video is on the channel from ages ago. So this is not fixed at all. We did it. If you want to enjoy the video, smash a like, subscribe if you're new, hit the notification bell as well. Because in the summer we've got a lot of content coming out, especially for the Euros, which is massive. So if you want to be kept up to date with all of that content, then this is the channel to be on. And hit the subscribe button with the notification bell on, so then you will not miss an upload. You get a notification to your phone or whatever device you are using. So without further ado, let's get into the predictions. It doesn't start off that well in 24th. I predicted QPR. Okay, let me explain. Oisé Samuel, Averchi Eze leaving. Didn't really have a good strike at the start of the season. I don't think they got Charlie Austin in January, didn't they? So they are the reasons. I thought QPR have a terrible season and go down. They didn't. I know. They finished 9th, which is brilliant to QPR. And in the last few weeks I've been saying that next season they can hit the playoffs potentially. Push for the playoffs. Insane if they can. I was wrong. Hold my hands up. 15 points already on the board. We are doing the points tally, of course. So 9th to 24th, that's a 15 place gap, so I get 15 points. The aim of the game is to get the least amount of points possible. So that's basically the points tally explained. 23rd, I predicted Sheffield Wednesday. They finished bottom of the table 24th, but it wasn't all their fault. They had 6 points. Point deduction initially it was 12, but that got halved midway through the season, and it come down to the final day. All they had to do was beat Derby and they were safe. They couldn't quite do it. Absolute drama on the final day of the championship season as well. But it was Sheffield United Wednesday to go down, along with Sheffield United from the Premier League, so they're going down as well. Both Sheffield teams going down division. But yeah, hard times Sheffield Wednesday fans, and hopefully next season will bounce back. They're losing quite a few of their big players I've heard, like Barry Banham apparently going to be linked with a host of Premier League and Championship clubs. I don't know why I said Premier League. He's not in any Premier League clubs that I've heard of. It's only Championship. But yeah, hard times at Sheffield Wednesday. Let's see what the future holds for them. Hopefully they can get back to the Championship where they belong at the very least. In the 22nd, I predicted Rotherham. I was one space off on this one. I actually finished 23rd. If they didn't concede the 88-minute goal against Cardiff, they would have been safe in the Championship for another season. They're not. That's the hard truth behind it. But they are sort of a yo-yo club between Championship and League One. So next season, I do think that it'll bounce straight back up to the Championship, Rotherham. So high hopes for you guys. Yeah, got that one place off, as well as Sheffield Wednesday, and 15 for QPR, so that's 17 for the bottom three, not the best. In 21st, I did predict Wycombe to finish there, and I tell you what, if there was one more game of the season, they probably would have. Insane comeback towards the last 10 games of the season, just did it one game too late to start the comeback. They got a really good string of results, and they needed to win like 13-0 on the final day to actually survive. They couldn't quite do it. They only won 3-0 on the final day against Middlesbrough, which is absolutely insane, but they needed 10 more to stay up. So hard for Wycombe, but next season they're going to come back up. Mark my words. Hopefully anyway. One place difference on that one as well, which is really tough on Wycombe, but you know, this season I think they were everyone's second team in the Championship, wanting to stay up. They almost did it, but not quite. It wasn't the season for Wycombe. In 20th, I predicted Huddersfield, not the best season for them, but guess where they finished? 20th, That's right, I've got my first spot on prediction in today's video. Insane, and it comes with Huddersfield 10. Not a good season, it's all about next season for them, trying to push up the table, because the last 2 seasons they've been down that end of the table, not where you want to be in a relegation scrap. But, you know, next season let's hope that they can push up the table a little bit and do a bit better. Not too sure though, tough times for Huddersfield. We'll have to see what happens in the transfer window. I think they've signed a goalkeeper and a centre back so far, which is, you know, what they need because they've let in a lot of goals this season. In 19th, I predicted Birmingham City. They actually finished 18th. Good end to the season with Lee Bowyer. He's what kept them up, of course. Thought the flag come down then. It didn't. Not that I can see. No, it didn't. Never mind. But anyway, talking about Birmingham, yeah. Not the best start to the season with Karanka, but they revived it with Lee Bowyer. And next season, I think they can actually push to the top half of the table. Not too sure if that's a bit too ambitious, but it's the Championship. Anything can happen. One place off on Birmingham. In 18th, finished Coventry. And that's where I predicted them to finish. That's finished 16th. So 2 places off on that one. But it was a good season on the whole. You know, next season they'll be moving back into their stadium, the Ricoh Arena. This season they were sharing stadiums with Birmingham City at St Andrews, of course. And it proved well for Coventry back in the Championship, and I'm really glad they stayed up because they've got a good team, good manager, and they can push up the table next season, definitely. I don't think they'll go down. But again, the summer transfer window, see how they do. They can't really be selling any of their players unless, you know, it's a bit dead wood. They need to go up for Championship quality players now. A few more of them, and they'd be right up there. Not playoffs, mid-table, right up in the mid-table section. In 17th, this is probably the worst one of the lot. I predicted Barnsley to finish 17th. What was I thinking? They finished 5th. Insane season. Daryl Dyke, Connor Chaplin, Corley Woodrow, that Fraser, Carlton Morris, and there's probably more strikers and wingers for Barnsley that I've just missed out. But insane season for Barnsley, completed and went above all objectives completely. Ismail did a really good job at Barnsley this season. Will he hang along for next season? I'm not too sure. Daryl Dyke, of course, he was only on loan, and there's a few Premier League clubs interested in him, and top Championship clubs as well. Barnsley, though, you know, really good season. Let's see if they can do it next season, and maybe if they can do it again next season, it'll be their year. Of course, it didn't do that well in the playoffs. They lost to Swansea over 2 legs, 2 on an aggregate, but they gave us a really good game over 2 legs. So fair play to Barnsley. I got you incredibly wrong, and I think I was 12 points off. Bit wrong, I think. And it doesn't get much better. In 16th place, I predicted Reading. Guess where they finished, guys? 7th. Really good season. I think it Zhao. Yeah, Zhao. Really good player. I just had my brain just went blank for a minute. Zhao was a really good player. Ajaria. I'm not too sure how to say these players' names, but really good season on the whole for Reading. Unlucky not to get playoffs. They just slipped away at the end. Just not consistent enough, and that's what you need in the Championship. You need to be consistent to get the best prizes. And unfortunately to Reading, they just slipped off. We'll have to see what holds for next season. I really hope Reading are up there again because they deserve to be up there and challenging to get back up to the Premier League. It wasn't meant to be this season, but maybe next season we can do it. In 15th, I predicted Blackburn. Where did Blackburn finish? 15th. That's right, we've only gone and got second prediction spot on of the video. Let's go. Insane. Blackburn, you know, not the good season though on the whole. Adam Armstrong, he really does need to go to a bigger club that's actually fighting for promotion or trying to stay up in the Premier League. He's way, way too good for Blackburn, and I know Blackburn know that they are punching way above their weight to keep him at the club. Harvey Elliott as well even come from Liverpool on loan, and I think the ambition at Blackburn this season was to get playoffs after almost getting it last season, but fading away towards the end. This season though, they faded away midway through and it wasn't that good enough for Blackburn, but next season I think they will just slip down unless they can get quality in. And when is Tony Mowbray actually going to leave? I'm not trying to sound rude here, but he's just not taking the club anywhere in my opinion. From a neutral's perspective, he's not taking them anywhere. I think Blackburn needs a manager who's capable of getting top half championship finishes at least, and has the experience of getting teams promoted, so then Blackburn can get back up to the Premier League. In 14th, I predicted Bristol. They finished 19th. Not a good season for Bristol. Why do I keep calling him Lee Johnson? Lee Johnson got sacked, and it was Nigel Pearson, of course, who took over. I think it was January or February. Took over at Bristol. Thought he was going to do a good job, but no, just didn't have the quality in the squad. I think they've released 11 players now, Bristol. So a lot of free agents available, but I think he's just trying to clear out the squad, get players he wants in. Because I think at Bristol they actually have good owners, so they can. Nigel Pearson can have the financial backing and push on next season towards the playoffs. Don't think they'll get the playoffs, but I think they can get back up to where they want to be in terms of the top half of the table, just below the playoff spaces. Disappointing season on the whole for Bristol, all about the transfer window now and next season. In 13th, I thought Middlesbrough would finish there. They finished 10th. Pearson, what about? Neil Warnock. How did I forget his name? Not Nigel, Neil Warnock, of course, of Middlesbrough. Okay season, not the best, not the worst. You know, just move on to next season. I think next season they can finish in the playoffs. They've released Assombalonga, Fletcher, Mendes-Lang, a bit of the Deadwood at Middlesbrough. A few surprising choices there though. I think they're going to look to get a few more experienced players in, a bit more quality for the championship. And next season I think they will be in the playoffs for Middlesbrough. You know, good season on the whole after last season's, but not really what I want it to be, but good that Warnock's coming this season and a whole season in charge. Next season I'll get the playoffs, I'm pretty sure. In 12th, this is one of the worst ones as well. I had Derby there. Yeah, I did. But didn't expect them to do that bad. They could have been relegated, Derby County, imagine that. Forest fans would have loved it, of course, but not Derby fans. And apparently they could still go down because of some off-field decisions and stuff behind the scenes at the club has been going on. Apparently they've gone against the EFL rules or something. I'm not too sure on the whole situation, but apparently they could still replace Wickham to go down. That rumour though was about a month ago, and I don't think it's happening anymore. But, you know, Derby, they need to sort themselves out, otherwise next season's going to be really, really tough. In my opinion, Wayne Rooney's not good enough manager. Yeah, he's not good enough for a championship team. They don't have the best quality at Derby. That's something they need to work on. If they have Rooney there, they can attract players to come under him. But when they've done this bad this season, who would want to come to Derby? Let's be honest. You know, I'm not trying to be funny. Who would want to come to a team trying to fight relegation in the championship? You know, they need to get an experienced championship manager and help them push back up to where they want to be, which is mid-table, pushing for the playoffs where they should be, try and get back into the Prem. They're too big of a club to go down, Derby. In 11th, I thought Preston would finish there. Preston, they actually finished 13th, so 2-point gap on that one. It was an average season for Preston, let's be honest. Not good, not bad, just average. You know, they sacked their manager. just before the international break, the last international break in March. And now they've had a caretaker manager who I think has been appointed full-time manager at Deepdale now, and not too sure about the future of Preston, to be honest. We'll have to wait and see who they sign in the summer, if they do sign anyone, and see what the squad's looking like for next season. But I'm not too sure about Preston. In 10th, of course, went for Stoke. They actually finished 14th. It was looking like an okay season for Stoke. Next season, build a platform for next season to push on to the playoff spaces. But they slipped away towards the end, unfortunately, for Stoke. Inconsistent. And as I touched upon with Blackburn, consistency is key in the Championship. Stoke just didn't have that this season, and that's when they fell away towards the end. But I think they definitely have quality in that team, and off the field as well. I think they reported £91 million losses for this season just gone. What is going on at Stoke? I'm not even sure. They're too big of a club to stay in the Championship by far. They need to be having ambitions of playoffs minimum, to be honest. In 9th, I thought Luton would actually have a really good season, finish there. They finished 12th, they still have a really good season. What's the manager's name? Jones, something Jones. But yeah, he did really well with Luton this season. Of course, he started last season with Luton, didn't he? And he went to Stoke, didn't really work out. Luton were falling. He went back to Luton. Nathan Jones, that's it. And then he got them out of the relegation zone, which is brilliant for Luton. This season they really pushed on, went up to 12th, really good for them. Dewsbury Hall was really good. In Panzu as well. James Collins, one of their strikers, has gone off to Cardiff. Yeah, he's joined the Bluebirds for now. Luton next season, if they can get a top half finish a little bit further towards the playoffs, they could even push for the playoffs. You never know. If Barnsley can do it, QPR can do it. Well, I don't know. Anyone can do it. Blackpool coming up, they can push for the playoffs next season. I would love that. Didn't know I have a soft spot for Blackpool, but this video is not about Blackpool because they won in the Championship this season. We'll talk about them next season, okay? Cool. Moving on to 8th, we had Bournemouth. Now, I put them there because I thought they would lose quite a lot of their quality that comes down from the Premier League. They lost King in January, they lost Callum Wilson at the start. Fraser as well didn't sign a new contract with them in the last season. The likes of Begovic was really good. Solanke, just Championship quality, so really good for them. Dan Juma, way too good for the league, and mainly what got them the goals this season from what I saw of Bournemouth. I think he has to be going to the Premier League for next season. Way too good for the Championship. But if they keep them, then they really need to be winning the league next season. Bournemouth definitely got the quality too. They have also released Jack Wilshere. I'd love to see him in the Swansea shirt personally. I know he's injury prone, but I'd love Jack Wilshere to come to Swansea. Hope he does, but depends how big his wages are. But good season for Bournemouth to finish in the playoffs, but they could have done better with the squad they had. And what's his name got sacked halfway through? Jason Tyndall got sacked halfway through. Then they replaced him with the old Middlesbrough manager. He'll come to me in a minute. I'm not too sure of his name. Woodgate? Is it Woodgate? I think it's Woodgate. If my memory's correct, Jonathan Woodgate is the Bournemouth manager. Pretty sure. But I think they need someone a bit better to take them back up to the Premier League, in my opinion, Bournemouth. And it's going to be really interesting to see what happens with all the players there this season. If they want to go to a better club because they have the quality to, or if they're going to stick around for one more season, try to help Bournemouth get up to the promised land. But that is another season of their careers gone if they do not make it. So it's a big gamble. I personally think they'll lose quite a lot of players next season. But we'll have to see what the future holds for Bournemouth. In 7th, I thought Cardiff would finish there. I would not be biased at all. Neil Harris didn't have a really good start to the season at all. really poor. They brought in Mick McCarthy, who just had an insane run, and then sort of found his levels towards the end of the season. Slept off a little bit. Next season will be interesting for Cardiff. They want to have Harry Wilson, of course. They've released a few players. Junior Hoylett, Joe Bennett, and Sol Bamba. Of course, his fight against cancer, and he got a few minutes against Rotherham on the final day. Really good, rivals aside. Nothing, you wouldn't wish anything like that to happen to anybody. I'm really good that he's come out of it on the bright side in a way. So Sol Bamba, hopefully he has a good career. Well, he's 35, so he's got a few years left, and I think wherever he goes next, hopefully he has, he does well, hopefully. Because what he's been through is really tough. He deserves some promotion maybe if he goes to a championship club, but I'm not too sure Cardiff would have released him if he's just going to go to another championship club. We'll wait and see. Maybe a League One club then. I keep rambling on. What am I doing? In 6th though, inside the playoffs, I did think it would be Millwall to finish there. They finished 11th, so it was an okay season for Millwall. Just didn't have the quality in the end to reach the playoffs like I thought. Last season they did really well, pushing for the playoffs. They didn't quite get there, of course. Mid-table team for this season as well. Again, transfer window, see what brings of it for Millwall. They also had Troy Parrott first half of the season. I think he got recalled, didn't he? He didn't play much, but a lot of people thought that he would light up the championship. He didn't. But yeah, Millwall finished 11th. I picked them 6th, so that's 5 point difference. In 5th, this is one that I got terribly wrong. If only I switched Barnsley and Forest, I would have had 2 more spots on predictions, because I predicted Forest to finish 5th. They finished 12 places below that, which is 17th in the table. Not the best of the season at all for Forest, but there is positives. Chris Hughton is the manager, and in the second season of his last few jobs, he's finished 4th, 3rd or 4th or 5th in the playoffs spaces, basically. So promising signs. They've released a few good players like Yuri Ribeiro, Sammy Amiobi, players that they'll miss. I don't think they'll get James Garner back, who's really good towards the end of the season with Forest. But I do think, despite all of that, next season will be a good season with Forest. Let's hope so anyway for the Forest fans. In 4th, I predicted Swansea. Last season I predicted them 6th. I got it spot on. Know my club well. And this season I predicted them 4th. I know them too well. We finished 4th. Let's go. 3rd spot on prediction. Insane. And while we're talking about spot on predictions, let's look at 3rd place. Brentford. Who finished there? Brentford. Look at 2nd place. Who finished 2nd? Watford. Who did I predict 2nd? Watford. And who did I think would finish 1st? You know what's happening. I think Norwich would win the league. They won the league. That is 6 predictions spot on. I'm over the moon with that. Insane. I should talk about all of them at the same time, really. Norwich and Watford, insane for Norwich. They slipped off a little bit towards February, but they had the quality to smash through. Amy Buendia, a main part of their success. They didn't win a game without Amy Buendia, so tough times for Norwich, but they kept on to them, so it wasn't tough times. Don't know what I'm on about. They won the league, back up to the Premier League. I expect to see them back down next season, and then go back up. You know how it goes with Norwich. In 2nd, we had Watford. Now, didn't really have a good season overall. I've got to be completely honest in this. In my point of view, I don't think, on the whole, they deserve to go up. I'm being completely honest, but the likes of Brentford, Swansea slept off, and they took that chance with both hands, and credit to Watford. I'm not saying they don't deserve to go up. I feel like Brentford and Swansea deserve to go up more, but Watford are up. Congratulations, and I hope you have a good time in the Premier League, But, from February, they were just really inconsistent. Then they started to turn the heat up a little bit, and went on that mad run of games where they've won all of them, and in the Premier League. So they do deserve it, but I think Swansea and Brentford probably deserve it more on the whole. But listen, Watford are up. Congratulations, cycling GK videos in the Prem. I'm not complaining. What I am complaining about though is Swansea Bottle in the playoff final. Absolutely terrible. Cannot believe it, man. Cannot believe it. I'm going to be completely honest about this one as well. And I thought neither side played good. I don't think Brentford played amazing. I don't think Swansea played good at all. I think Swansea played terrible. Brentford played terrible, but Swansea were on another level of terrible. To Brentford, although they weren't at their best, they, scored goals, Really disappointing for Swans. All the season wasted on that game now. Next season's all about that, all about summer, but of course looks like we're going to lose Ayew. Woodman's not going to come back, he's not going to come back. But hopefully we can actually get the owner to spend a bit of money on the side, and hopefully, maybe, automatics next season. Is it on the cards? Can I predict Swansea's exact finish 3 seasons in a row? That's the big question. And the only team we haven't talked about, we've done this in a bit of a random order, haven't we? Is Brentford. Congratulations, Brentford. Well, what I just said about the playoff final, I'm not trying to say didn't deserve to go up. 100% you were the better team, but we know that Brentford can play much better football than that. And if they were on their day, they could have won that 8-0. I honestly think 8-0. Lucky to stop at 2. Ivan Toney hit the crossbar, nearly scored like a second or two after Emiliano Marcondes scored their seconds, but Brentford are in the Premier League at last. Well done, Brentford. So congratulations to Norwich, Watford and Brentford for going up to the Premier League. Hopefully you have successful times in the Premier League for next season and for the following seasons, if you do manage to stay up, of course. Hopefully we don't see you next season in the Championship, although it's probably inevitable that we will see one of the teams come back down to the Championship at least. So, of course, this video we've been going through the points system. So, on the total, the biggest differences I've had, the biggest one being QPR for 15 places out on them. The two other biggest ones were Nottingham Forest and Barnsley, 12 points each, so that's 24 points with them two, and with QPR, that's 39 points, and we ended up finishing on 85, so without those 39, we could have been, 40 something I think, but yeah, I'm not going to work that out just yet. But yeah, we could have had a really good score, but 85 is not that bad, because comparing it to last season, 1920 season, I actually had 122 points. So, the improvement on points, we've improved by 37 points. I think that's really good. This season we had 6 correct, spot-on predictions. Last season we had only 2, so that's an improvement of 4. Really happy with that. And that is the video, guys. So I hope you've all enjoyed it. If you have, please subscribe to the channel. Please smash the like button as well. That really helps. And if you are going to subscribe, please put the notification bell on as well. You won't be missing out on any new videos that come out on the channel. You'll get a notification on any device you're on. I think mainly iPads, phones, laptops, mainly them devices. And then you can be one of the first persons to watch the videos as soon as they come out. So yeah, thank you all very much for watching. Hope you enjoy, and I'll see you in the next video very soon. Bye guys.